The history of Roma's exit from India to Europe. Now, for several hundred years, the history of the Roma's arrival in Europe was completely unknown and shrouded in myths about their origin. It was a common belief that Roma, often called interchangeably as Romani, came to Europe from Egypt. Recent genetic and linguistic research proved their origins brings us to Rajasthan and Punjab. Another group, often included in the Roma group, called Sinti, appeared to be a descendant of the tribes inhabiting Sindh. Due to unknown reasons, they left India, most probably around 1500 years ago, and traveled towards Europe via Persia and Turkey. After they entered Europe from the Balkan side, they got divided into several subgroups heading towards Spain and Italy via Germany and France. Others decided to go towards the north to Scandinavia via Romania, Hungary, Slovakia, Poland, and the Baltic states. Some remained in the Balkans, moving towards Greece. The Romani also migrated to the USA, South America, Russia, and the United Kingdom. Statistical data proves that the Romani population is the largest minority within Europe. The approximate population is 11 million. The countries where they constitute a significant minority are Bulgaria 10.3%, North Macedonia 9.5%, Slovakia 9.1%, Romania 8.3%, Serbia 8.1%, Hungary 7%, and Spain 3.1%. In Poland, the Roma population is relatively small, 0.05% of the population of Poland, but it brings a significant coloring to the local culture. The word Rome means man or husband in the Romani language. It has a variant, Dom, which in the North Indian languages means a member of a caste of nomadic dancers and musicians. These names are used by the Roma group to describe themselves. Certain groups of Roma, especially those who live in Germany, prefer to distinguish their ancestors from Sindh and call themselves Sinti. All Roma tribes use a specific word for non-Roma people, Gajo. It doesn't bring any negative connotation. It is used only in order to create a clear division between Roma and non-Roma. Roma people are well known for their hermetic and very distinctive culture. For centuries, they have been a typical nomadic ethnic group, wandering from place to place, country to country, in their carriages, which were also their homes. In Europe in the Middle Ages, it was much easier for them to move around as the borders were not so strict and moving between countries didn't require any formalities. Initially, they were welcomed in many European countries, intriguing the local community with their otherness and specific lifestyle. They were offered money and food. Soon, however, the newcomers were not welcomed anymore due to allegations of witchcraft and theft. Roma's carriages used to make their resting places near towns and villages. The most common place of stopping a caravan were forest glades and river bends. The characteristic oval carts were pulled by horse-drawn sleds. After the caravan stopped, the Roma immediately used to start building a fireplace, which had a symbolic significance in maintaining ties with their ancient traditions. Roma families are usually large. Marriages are concluded at a very early age, and usually the couple is selected from among the members of the same caravan group. Pre-adult marriages were usually concealed by local authorities due to serious legal consequences of allowing children to marry. According to the Rome rules, it was not possible to marry a non-Roma. Such attempts used to end up in exclusion from the clan. Traditionally, the head of the Roma family is a man. Women are usually considered impure, especially during the 40 days after the birth of the baby, when they should stay away from the caravan. The lower parts of the body were considered unclean. Clothes like skirts were washed separately from other clothes. Women used to gain some respect only after the birth of the children and reaching of the old age. At the beginning of the 18th century, as borders among European countries became increasingly difficult to cross freely, artificial divisions were created for the Roma. However, they had to accept them and limit the nomadic way of life. There was a breakthrough in this centuries old tradition. They began to settle in some European countries. This involved accepting local traditions and religions, but they never abandoned their own beliefs and customs. Depending on the country of settlement, they embraced the local religion, Catholicism, Protestantism, Orthodox Christianity, or Islam. A prominent Polish researcher of the Roma tradition, Mr. Lech Moroz, studied in detail the beliefs that have survived so far in Roma traditions. Now, let me introduce you to the most interesting ones. To make the man fall in love, a Roma lady cooked some of her beloved's hair with apple seeds and a few drops of blood from her left hand finger. After mixing all the ingredients properly, she chewed them during a night of the full moon, uttering a magic spell. Then the magical substance had to be wiped into the clothes of the beloved, and love was guaranteed. Some Roma tribes assigned special importance to hair and nails. They cut them every Friday and then burned them. The ash was considered magical and had healing properties. According to beliefs, unburned nails caused illness. To harm someone, it was enough to make a figurine from a mixture of wax and hair, which was then pierced. Roma also believed in the existence of witches, who at the end of their lives let their hair and nails grow to help them to hold on to rocks they had to climb in order to enter the kingdom of the dead. Roma were also convinced of the magical power of animals. Howling dog, raven sitting on the roof, bat in the house were believed to bring death and illness. Some of the customs associated with marriage were found similar to those of the country from which they traveled hundreds of years ago. On the eve of the wedding, women painted the bride with henna. Sugar was sprinkled on her head and her face was covered with a veil, which she took off only in the bedroom. When the groom was brought into the house, the woman kissed the threshold, and the mother-in-law showered her with rye. A clay pitcher was smashed over the heads of the newly married couple, and the number of shells was supposed to determine the number of happy years they would spend together. The wedding was a huge undertaking for which the family saved for years. On the occasion of all the guests were delighted with the richness of food and drinks and glamour. The ceremony was usually held in a forest clearing, where invited guests played Roma music for days. After the feast, the bride entered the bedroom where she would be waiting for her husband. After closing the door, one of the musicians beat the drum, waiting for gifts and a proof of the bride's purity. The first shirt test was still practiced at the beginning of the 20th century. If the rehearsal was successful, the real wedding began. Otherwise, the young lady used to be sent back to her parents' house. The Roma reached Poland in the 16th century after being expelled from neighboring Germany. Until the end of the 18th century, the only name that the Roma were referred to was Gypsy. The name is widely distributed throughout Europe with minor local language modifications. The very origin of the word gypsy, which means in Greek language untouchable, says a lot about how they were perceived by society. In the Byzantine Empire, the word meant wanderers, fortune tellers, and animal charmers. In Poland, the word has only negative connotations. There is even a verb, "sygenić," to gypsy, which means to cheat. Nowadays, it is inappropriate to use the term gypsy or Cygeny. It was replaced by the term Roma. Today, Polish Roma are an ethnic minority recognized by the Polish law. According to the 2011 national consensus, 17,049 people declared Roma nationality, of which 9,899 declared only Roma nationality. On the other hand, more than 35,000 people speak Roma language in Poland. For centuries, every aspect of Roma life has been guided by a well defined set of rituals and practices. As in any community, internal structures had developed in this group as well. The basic cell was rolling stock, the caravan composed of several families. It was headed by a mayor. The mayor had to be very intelligent and cunning in dealing with non Roma. It was for him to judge disputes, approve marriages, decide the direction of the travel. Another important function was held by Baro Shero, the great head. He was the highest judge, priest, and there was no appeal against his sentences. He was the one who imposed penalties such as exclusion from the community and a ban on wandering and staying in the caravan. Among the most serious offences were the betrayal of Roma secrets and close contact with non Roma. One of the hallmarks of Roma culture is the traditionally defined and limited range of practicable professions. This system, most likely inherited from the Hindu caste division, includes many professions that European Roma practice today. The main professions that Roma perform most often are blacksmithing, locksmithing, stone processing, brick production, horse trading, working on a farm, and door to door trade. Among the very original professions, one may include training of wild animals and begging. Roma women often work as fortune tellers, hand palm readers, future tellers from cards or a glass fair. During the Second World War, the Roma became one of the most hated nations by the Nazis. To commemorate the Roma murdered during the war, a day of remembrance for the Holocaust of the Roma was established. A holiday celebrated on August 2nd, commemorating one of the most tragic events in Roma history. On the night of August 2nd to 3rd, 1944, the Nazis killed in gas chambers 2,897 Roma children, men and women. In total, more than 20,000 Roma were killed in the Nazi concentration camp in Auschwitz, out of some 23,000 Roma deportees from 14 countries. During the Holocaust, the Nazis murdered an estimated 400,000 Roma. After the Second World War, in Eastern European countries, including Poland, the Roma were forced to abandon nomadic traditions. Numerous restrictions of this kind, brutally interfering with their traditional way of life, eliminated the phenomenon of nomads in Eastern European countries and exposed the Roma to all kinds of negative effects of this change. As a result, the majority of people of Roma nationality living in post-communist countries today live below the poverty line, particularly those affected by unemployment. Despite these negative manifestations of influence on Roma culture, recent decades have brought some improvement of the situation of the Roma, and lots of efforts have been taken to sustain the rich tradition. In 1990, the Fourth Congress of the International Roma Union established International Roma Day, celebrated every year on April 8th. Apart from that, in the District Museum in Tarnow, in southern Poland, a department was created for collecting scientific documentation and iconography concerning Roma. Since 1979, it has been the only permanent exhibition dedicated to Roma in the world. It is also worth mentioning that since 1997, the International Festival of Roma Song and Culture, the largest Roma festival in Europe, has been held in central Poland in the city of Sychowiec. The organizer of this great cultural event is the Roma artist Don Basil, who comes from the royal family of the Roma Baro Shero dynasty, the Great Head. It is necessary to emphasize that 3 newspapers are published in Roma language in Poland, which promote the knowledge of Roma culture and Roma language. In the vocabulary of the Roma language, you may notice many words and grammatical rules indicating that the language is a member of the Indo-Aryan branch of the Indo-European language family. In many Roma words, like numbers, body part names, and day to day expressions, we find common roots with Sanskrit and modern day languages of northern India. To sum up this brief description of the turbulent history of the Roma and their settlement in Europe, it is worth quoting one of the most famous Roma sayings: "A mountain never meets a mountain, but a man meets a man." Thank you.